Have you ever wondered what happens when you dare to leave a narcissist? Will they suffer, regret, and beg you to come back? Or will they erupt in rage and seek revenge? Today we will explore the surprising and dramatic reactions of a narcissist when you decide to step away from a toxic relationship. You'll gain a deeper understanding of their psychology, equipping yourself to protect your well-being and reclaim a life of freedom and happiness. Let's embark on a journey to uncover the underworld of narcissists, arming ourselves with knowledge and strength to overcome fear and take back control of our lives. Amid the toxic maze of a relationship with a narcissist, when you confront the bitter truth and bravely choose to walk away, that decision becomes the most powerful declaration of your fight for freedom. Often, a narcissist will be the one to abandon you, like a predator always seeking new prey to satisfy their thirst for manipulation and control. However, when you are the one to break the chains, be prepared for a true battle, as a narcissist will not easily let you escape their grasp. They will rage. When you realize that you are trapped in a toxic relationship with a narcissist, leaving is not only necessary but also the bravest thing you can do to reclaim control of your life. In many cases, the narcissist will automatically abandon you to seek new supply, people they can manipulate and control. However, when you are the one who decides to end the relationship, things will not go so smoothly. When you actively leave, you touch upon the narcissist's deepest fear, losing control. They cannot accept that you, someone who was once under their manipulation and oppression, would dare to stand up and break the chains they have painstakingly created. To a narcissist, every relationship must revolve around them, serving their need for control, admiration, and the affirmation of their distorted ego. They always want to remain the center, not just in your life, but also in the eyes of everyone around you. Remember that narcissists live to manipulate and deceive. They not only build a perfect image of themselves to gain admiration from others, but they also control how you, the supporting character in their play, perceive and react. When you dare to stand up against them, daring to break the narrative they have written, you not only challenge their power, but also shake the ideal image they want to protect at all costs. This sends them into chaos. To them, you are no longer the obedient puppet, no longer submitting and accepting their control. You dared to take away what they treasure most, their power and manipulation. Your independence is a powerful blow to their fragile ego, making them feel humiliated and stripped of their sense of purpose. They cannot accept that you, someone they once thought they owned, can live a free and independent life without them. As a result, the narcissist will react negatively, fiercely, and unpredictably. They may rage, use every tactic to belittle and humiliate you, from harsh words to cunning revenge. They may spread false stories, defame, or try to turn you into the bad guy in the eyes of others to protect their image. Their goal is not only to pull you back, but also to make you suffer, to make you regret daring to leave them. But remember, this is not your fault. Their reaction is merely an expression of the deep weakness and insecurity within their soul, not evidence that you did anything wrong. By standing up and leaving, you are reclaiming control of your life, breaking free from the toxic cycle, and finding the freedom you truly deserve. Preparing yourself mentally to face their negative reactions is very important. Do not expect empathy or respect from them, as they lack the capacity to understand and accept this. They will use every means to make you doubt yourself, from begging and pleading to threats and insults. But always remember, your freedom and happiness are what truly matter most. Focus on yourself, strengthen your inner power, and seek support from people you trust. Do not let their venomous words or vengeful actions weaken your determination. Walking away is not just an important turning point in your life, but also an affirmation that you deserve a better life. A life no longer chained by manipulation and control. They try to pull you back. When the rage subsides and their venomous words fail to sway you, they suddenly realize that the forceful path to holding you back has hit a dead end. They will revert to their old tricks, the tactics that once worked to draw you in. Narcissists are masters of emotional manipulation, and they rarely give up without a fight to regain control. They will activate a familiar cycle they have used to manipulate you: love bombing, devaluation, and finally, abandonment. When you try to break free from this cycle, they will immediately return to the first phase, love bombing. During this phase, they will do everything to rekindle memories of the initial honeymoon stage when you first met. They will say sweet things like, "We've always had a special connection no one else can understand," or "I've never felt as happy as I do when I'm with you." These words are not genuine. They are tools to target your emotions and make you doubt your decision to leave. They will make you recall the wonderful moments, causing you to question whether you were too harsh or if they deserve another chance. Beyond words, they will also take action to love bomb you. They might unexpectedly show up at your door with a bouquet of flowers or send you meaningful gifts. They could suddenly message or email you saying they miss you, that they've thought a lot and realize they cannot live without you. Sometimes they may employ even more dramatic gestures like crying, begging you to come back, or making unrealistic promises to change. These promises are bad too because they cry for a May dinner. But remember, these actions are not driven by love, they are driven by their fear of losing control over you. They may also employ more sophisticated tactics, pretending that they have changed. They'll talk about learning from their mistakes, seeking professional help, or trying to become a better person. In reality, these claims are merely a facade to disguise their true intent, to drag you back into their web of manipulation. If sweet words and gestures fail, they may shift to more negative strategies, such as inducing guilt. They might claim that your departure will destroy them, that you are abandoning them when they need you the most. They could feign illness, sending emotional messages like, "I can't live without you," or even threaten self-harm to instill fear and make you stay. When they see that you remain unmoved, they might resort to indirect methods to get your attention. They may post on social media, targeting you with subtle messages designed to make you jealous, anxious, or question yourself as the wrongdoer in the situation. They might reach out to your friends or family to apply pressure, portraying themselves as deeply suffering and in need of help. All of these actions are calculated to destabilize you, make you waver, and erode your resolve to stay away from them. But remember, this is not love. It is a carefully orchestrated manipulation tactic. Narcissists don't come back because they want to build a healthy relationship or because they genuinely care for you. They return because they need you to sustain their fragile ego. Every time you react to something they react, whether it's agreeing to talk or responding to messages or even rejecting them, you are giving them the one thing they crave most: attention. The most important thing you must do is remain resolute. Do not let sweet words, empty promises, or feelings of guilt shake your resolve. Cutting off contact may be difficult, especially when they try to pull you back. But always remember, your freedom, peace, and happiness are what truly matter. They actively create trauma bond. Narcissists often employ a sophisticated manipulation strategy known as trauma bonding, a toxic cycle of love, abuse, and remorse. This strategy not only inflicts emotional damage but also conditions you to accept the abuse, eroding your ability to escape and even convincing you that you cannot live without them. It is a meticulously orchestrated plan to control you emotionally, psychologically, and practically, reducing you to a state of total dependence. Narcissists possess a refined ability to manipulate emotions so effectively that you may not even realize it. They forge strong emotional connections by persuading you that they are the only ones who truly love, understand, and stand by you. They blur the lines between love and control, making you confuse their abusive behavior with acts of love. You might hear phrases like, "I'm the only one who truly loves you," or "No one can understand and accept you like I do." These words don't just appeal to your compassion, but bind you tightly to them, creating a psychological vortex that is hard to escape. They sustain this cycle of love, abuse, and remorse, repeating it over and over to keep you trapped. After episodes of abuse, they use sweet apologies, promises of change, or grand romantic gestures to soften your resolve. But their remorse is never truly about making amends. It is solely a tactic to pull you back into the painful cycle they've constructed. Beyond emotional manipulation, narcissists also use financial ties to control you. They may render you completely dependent on them financially by controlling your income or making you believe you lack the ability to support yourself without them. They might even create situations that lead to debt or sabotage opportunities for you to become more independent, further solidifying your reliance on them. If you have children with them, this becomes their most powerful tool of manipulation. They will use the children as leverage to keep you under their control, making you feel responsible and obligated to maintain contact. They may threaten to take custody or make you believe that leaving will harm the children, causing you to hesitate and endure the situation. Another common tactic is exploiting your compassion. They may feign illness, claim to be weak or helpless, or act as though they are utterly dependent on your care. This places you in the role of the rescuer, compelling you to sacrifice everything to take care of them, even if it leaves you physically and emotionally drained. The truth is, they don't need help or healing. They simply want to keep you close, to continue exploiting your empathy as a source of energy. If no existing bonds tie you to them, they will create them. This might involve rushing commitments such as pressuring you to marry, have children, or engage in financial partnerships. If these bonds are already in place, they will reinforce them by making you feel that leaving is impossible. They plant seeds of fear, saying things like, "If you leave, I won't survive," or "You'll destroy this family if you walk away." These threats create feelings of guilt and make you hesitate. They also convince you that leaving will lead to catastrophe. You will lose your security, your finances, or even your own freedom. They reduce you to a state of complete dependency, making you feel powerless and terrified at the thought of leaving them. The cycle of love, abuse, and remorse not only causes you immense pain, but also robs you of your autonomy. It gradually erodes your sense of self-worth, making you believe that you don't deserve love or a better life. Narcissists want you to think that without them you cannot survive, that you need them more than they need you. They watch you from afar. When all their familiar manipulation tactics no longer work, don't think that a narcissist will easily give up. Instead, their obsession with you transforms into a quiet, persistent presence, like a ghost lurking in the shadows, observing your every move. But this surveillance is not born of love, care, or regret. It stems from a deep-seated need for control. It's how they reinforce their fragile ego and maintain a sense of power they lost when you left. Narcissists don't truly seek a genuine connection, nor are they looking for a dialogue to resolve issues. Instead, they assume a safe position from a distance, where they can watch your life unfold without facing responsibility or their true emotions. As philosopher Seneca once said, "No one learns anything when they refuse to confront the truth." For narcissists, avoiding the truth is instinctive. They don't want to admit mistakes or acknowledge the harm they've caused. From the sidelines, they feel just distant enough to avoid vulnerability, yet close enough to observe and maintain their presence. This observation behavior gives them a subtle sense of control. Even if you've cut off contact, they like to believe that you haven't truly escaped them. Their curiosity about your life becomes a twisted source of motivation. Who you're seeing, whether you're succeeding or failing, all of it becomes fuel for their ego. However, don't mistake this for care or concern. This is not love. It's another way to maintain influence and power over your mind. By watching you from afar, they continue their psychological game, convincing themselves that they still hold sway over you. Narcissists lacking genuine empathy are not interested in hearing or understanding your true emotions. Instead, they remain on the sidelines as hidden spectators, closely observing your steps, especially during moments of failure or pain. Your mistakes don't just please them, they serve as proof to reinforce their belief that you were wrong to leave. In their minds, you are paying the price for daring to walk away. Even when they've found someone new, narcissists often cannot let go of their obsession with you. They may try to mold the new person into a replacement, a flawed replica of you. But this isn't the beginning of a healthy new relationship. It's merely an attempt to fill the void you left while reinforcing their self-prestige. As Marcus Aurelius once said, do not try to bend what is not yours to your will. Yet narcissists reject this reality. They cling to the delusion that controlling someone new will restore balance. But in truth, they're simply running from their deep-seated insecurities. Their silent observation doesn't end there. They may also launch indirect attacks to damage your reputation. Narcissists might spread twisted narratives, painting you as a betrayer, ungrateful, or even malicious in the eyes of others. These actions are not born out of love or genuine hurt, but are tactics to maintain power. They want you to remain their former possession, constantly under surveillance and part of their power play. To them, you're not just an ex-partner. You are the embodiment of a game they refuse to lose. The thought of you being happy without them is unbearable. As a result, they try to apply pressure, demean you, and protect their image of power at all costs. The truth is, their refusal to let go has nothing to do with love or regret, but stems from their inability to relinquish control. However, this should not dictate how you live. Your life does not belong to them, and you are not obligated to endure their distorted behaviors. You alone have the right to write your story. Remember, your journey is no longer defined by those watchful eyes lurking in the shadows. True happiness doesn't lie in pleasing others or tolerating toxic behavior. It's in your hands, and you deserve peace, freedom, and unrestrained joy. The narcissist may attempt to rewrite the narrative, but you are the sole author of your life. Live for yourself, and only for yourself. These flying monkeys. Narcissists rarely operate alone. They often rely on a loyal group of individuals, commonly referred to as flying monkeys, to carry out their manipulative and destructive agendas. These flying monkeys are not merely unwitting accomplices. They are often your friends, family members, colleagues, or even former acquaintances. People whom the narcissist has manipulated to the point of losing their independent judgment and will. They become blind collaborators, willing to do whatever the narcissist commands, whether it's spying, smearing, bullying, or even threatening others. The danger lies in the fact that these flying monkeys don't need to know the whole story. Narcissists often present a distorted version of the truth, making them believe they are protecting or helping the narcissist against a villain, which in this case is you. They are easily swayed by the narcissist's complaints, such as, "I've sacrificed so much, but they treated me so badly," or "I just want things to be okay, but they keep hurting me." These stories not only manipulate the emotions of the flying monkeys, but also make them feel important in their role of seeking justice for the narcissist. Fueled by blind loyalty, the flying monkeys engage in subtle harassment. They might stalk you on social media, gather personal information, or even contact your workplace to spread baseless rumors. Some might confront you directly, threatening or trying to undermine your confidence. These actions not only cause annoyance, but also create mental stress and a feeling of being constantly watched. Understand, the flying monkeys are mere tools in the narcissist's hands. They do not act in your interest, nor do they care about the truth. Their primary purpose is to reinforce the narcissist's power and control, while pressuring you into feeling isolated and helpless. Distance yourself from anyone closely connected to the narcissist, no matter how close they once were to you. Don't let curiosity or kindness draw you into conversations that could be weaponized against you. Remember, any information you provide can be twisted and turned into a weapon in their hand. This is a critical step to safeguarding yourself. Set strict privacy settings on your social media accounts, use strong passwords, and update them regularly. Avoid sharing sensitive information such as your address, phone number, email, or workplace details with anyone you don't fully trust. Consider blocking or removing individuals who have direct ties to the narcissist from your contacts and social media. Flying monkeys may intentionally provoke you to elicit a reaction that the narcissist can use as evidence against you. Regardless of what they say or do, strive not to respond. Silence is your most powerful weapon. Any reaction, no matter how minor, can serve as a trigger for further harassment. During times of harassment or pressure, you'll need a strong support network of family, friends, or mental health professionals. These people can help you maintain perspective and provide practical advice when you feel confused or hurt by the actions of the flying monkeys. Ensure that you share information only with those who truly understand and empathize with your situation, avoiding inadvertently giving information to those connected to the narcissist. If the harassment from the flying monkeys becomes severe, collect and document all evidence, such as emails, messages, or public actions on social media. This will be invaluable if you need to seek legal intervention or protect yourself from slander and threats. Don't hesitate to consult an attorney or contact authorities if the situation escalates beyond your control. Narcissists and their flying monkeys often use psychological tactics to weaken your resolve. It's essential to recognize these strategies, from threats to character assassination, to avoid falling into their psychological traps. Self-awareness and knowledge are powerful tools that help you maintain your composure and avoid being drawn into their toxic games. Set clear boundaries. Emotionally, psychologically, and socially, don't let anyone pressure you to cross those boundaries, especially if doing so would compromise your peace and safety. Standing firm will create a shield against manipulation and harassment. The actions of flying monkeys are not a reflection of your worth or decisions. They are merely instruments used to maintain the narcissist control. Their interference in your life is not about you being wrong or deserving such treatment. It's about the narcissist's insecurity and need for dominance. Remember, you have every right to protect yourself and establish safe boundaries. Your life doesn't belong to those who seek to manipulate or control you. Your courage in walking away from the narcissist was already a major victory, and protecting your new life is the next step in affirming that you deserve freedom and happiness. Stay patient and steadfast. Every step you take to distance yourself from the narcissist's influence and the flying monkeys is a step closer to a life where you live true to your values, free from manipulation or control. You are the master of your own life, and no one has the right to take that away from you. They become unwilling detectives. Narcissists, driven by possessiveness and deep-seated insecurities, often transform themselves into unofficial detectives, quietly observing from the shadows with an unrelenting obsession toward you. They don't limit their presence to the physical world, but infiltrate virtual spaces as well, tracking even the smallest traces you leave behind. Like invisible ghosts, they silently monitor your every breath and step, all to reinforce their distorted sense of control. Their surveillance doesn't stop at surface-level observation. They delve deeply into your personal life. Every gesture, habit, and word you utter becomes evidence for them to analyze, distort, or weaponize. They covet what you possess, your sincerity, empathy, and the healthy relationships you've built. These qualities, absent in their own lives, stir within them a profound jealousy and simmering resentment. The narcissist might unexpectedly appear in places you frequent, startling you with their presence in a distant corner. One fine day, you might spot them at your favorite cafe or coincidentally see them near your workplace. These events are far from accidental. They are calculated parts of their plan. They might even show up at your doorstep, using excuses like just passing by or needing to talk, all to check if you remain within their sphere of influence. These actions aim to make you feel encircled, as if your privacy and precious freedom no longer exist. You start altering your routines, avoiding familiar places, double-checking your locks, and feeling constantly watched. This suffocating presence not only impacts your mental well-being but also drains you emotionally, blurring the line between freedom and fear. No matter how you try to avoid them, their haunting presence feels like an invisible net tightening around you. As author Oscar Wilde once wrote, "The weak cannot forgive, they always seek to hold others through control." This perfectly encapsulates the narcissist, who cannot accept that you've moved on. Your departure wounds their fragile ego, making them feel they've lost the power they once wielded. Thus, even when you've ended the relationship, they find ways to keep you in their sights, whether through mutual friends, fake social media accounts, or other loyal accomplices they've manipulated. Do not mistake their persistent surveillance for love or longing. Narcissists have no regard for your genuine emotions. They merely want to ensure they maintain influence. Their silent presence is not about care, but about sustaining control. As philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche observed, those who seek to control others are often those who cannot control themselves. They don't watch you out of curiosity alone, but also to find opportunities to weaken your spirit. They take pleasure in seeing you struggle, hoping to prove you were wrong to leave them. Your small setbacks become evidence for their smug satisfaction. In their minds, they think, this is the price they pay for daring to leave me. But this doesn't mean you must live in fear forever. On the contrary, your true strength lies within you. By focusing on healing, setting clear boundaries, and building a new life, you'll realize that your life doesn't belong to them. This is your moment to center yourself, love who you are, and embrace what truly matters. Over time, you'll come to see that your relationship with the narcissist wasn't a failure, but a lesson that helped you grow. You've broken free from cycles of manipulation, shattered the chains of control, and emerged as a stronger, more independent individual. They, with their insecurities and deep envy, may continue to exist in their low-vibration state, but their struggles no longer affect you. Be cautious not to flaunt your strength, as narcissists are fragile and easily provoked by your success. They may perceive it as a challenge and try to cause further trouble. As Sun Tzu wrote in The Art of War, "The best victory is the one achieved without fighting." Stay hidden, live your life peacefully and joyfully, and avoid unnecessary attention. When they think you've fallen, let them remain in that illusion. Your silence and independence are the most powerful responses. You don't need to counter their rumors or their harassment. Each day you live a better life is a victory, not over them, but for yourself. Finally, remember that happiness and freedom are rights no one can take from you. You no longer have to live under someone else's shadow. You've chosen a new life where control and manipulation have no place. Keep moving forward, step by step, and enjoy your unique journey. Live for yourself, for the light, and for the meaningful things you truly deserve. Mistakes that prevent you from leaving a narcissist. Loving a narcissist is like stepping into a vortex of unconditional sacrifice. At first, you might be captivated by their charm and allure, a superficial confidence and dazzling charisma that draws you in. Over time, however, you begin to realize that the relationship is far from mutual. It is one-sided. You pour yourself into understanding, accommodating, and fulfilling their every desire, often at the expense of your own well-being. You sacrifice your time, energy, and even cherished relationships. Family and friends are gradually pushed aside. Your dreams and aspirations are abandoned to ensure their fleeting satisfaction. Keeping them happy becomes your top priority. But remember, each time you yield, each time you allow them to cross the line of respect, you are giving them more power to control and manipulate you. Many people in relationships with narcissists often lament, "They made me this way." However, the painful truth is that we play a role in this trap by accepting the part we are assigned in the play they direct. Working with many victims of narcissistic relationships and marriages, I've seen countless individuals become isolated. They are cut off from family, friends, and the emotional support systems they once relied on. For them, the narcissist becomes the center of their universe, their entire world. Other concerns fade into the background as if they no longer exist. Sometimes they sense that something is amiss. They notice the subtle manipulation, the emotional exhaustion, and the loss of themselves. Yet, due to a lack of coping skills, emotional dependency, and the fear of abandonment, they choose to stay. They cling to the hope that things will change, that their love and sacrifices will somehow make the narcissist better. But this hope is an illusion, and with each passing day, they sink deeper into the toxic relationship. The most important thing to understand is that if you have been a victim in a narcissistic relationship, it is not your fault. No one chooses to be manipulated or exploited. However, unhealed wounds from your past may make you more susceptible to these types of relationships. This is not because you are a compassionate angel who can be easily taken advantage of, but because you carry emotional voids, vulnerabilities that narcissists are adept at exploiting. These emotional voids may stem from a childhood lacking understanding or love, feelings of neglect, or pain from previous relationships. These experiences leave you yearning for acceptance and love, making you willing to do anything to hold on to a relationship. Narcissists identify these gaps and use them to maintain control, turning you into their supply. Do not let yourself remain trapped in a toxic relationship with a narcissist because of their pitiful laments, such as, "I've suffered so much, I'm the victim," or "I act this way because life has been so unfair." These justifications are not the truth, but rather a cunning trap designed to exploit your compassion. If you believe these claims, you are not helping them, but instead pushing yourself deeper into a cycle of suffering and despair. Remember, manipulators excel at playing the victim. They use every trick to make you feel guilty and responsible for staying. Hurtful words, sudden bursts of violence, or even threats of self-harm are all weapons they deploy to control your emotions. These actions are not born from love or a desire to change, but from a need to maintain their power and control over you. The truth is this: you are not the cause of their problems. Their behavior is not a reflection of you, but a result of their inability to confront and deal with their own inner wounds, and you are not the one who can fix or heal them. Whether you stay or leave does not determine whether they will improve or worsen. Instead, they alone are responsible for their actions and the path they choose. When you choose to walk away from this suffocating relationship, you're not only freeing yourself but also creating an opportunity for both of you. You gain the chance to rediscover true happiness, a life unbound by control or manipulation. As for them, although they may go through a difficult period, it is a moment when they are forced to confront themselves. Sometimes loss is the only motivation that compels someone to recognize their need to change or seek professional help. Therefore, do not carry the burden of responsibility that isn't yours. Narcissists often make you feel as though you are the only one who can save them, that you are the answer to all their problems. But this is not true. In reality, the compassion you show them, if not accompanied by clarity and self-awareness, becomes a chain that binds you to a toxic relationship, draining your mental and physical well-being. Having the courage to walk away is a powerful and necessary act. It is not selfish, but a vital form of self-preservation. You deserve to live in peace and happiness. Always remember, you are not responsible for fixing or changing someone else. Your freedom and happiness are not only your rights, but something you should pursue without guilt. One common reason people remain trapped in toxic relationships with narcissists is a dangerous misconception known as the hero syndrome, a blind belief that you must sink with the ship to demonstrate loyalty or nobility. It's the idea that no matter how broken the ship is, you must stay, trying to fix it, and sacrificing yourself to keep it from sinking. Many are influenced by tragic romantic tales in movies or by vows like forever together or weathering every storm. They delude themselves into thinking that enduring and sacrificing in a toxic relationship is a sign of true love, that saving someone from darkness is a noble mission they must fulfill. They mistake their own suffering as proof of love and believe that leaving makes them a betrayer or someone who abandons the other in difficult times. But the harsh reality is this: narcissists do not want to be saved. They do not seek help, do not value your sacrifices, and certainly do not change simply because you stayed. What they want is to pull you down with them, to share the emotional swamp in which they are mired, so they don't feel alone in the chaos they've created. They don't want a partner to help steer the ship. They want a victim to manipulate, control, and blame when things fall apart. Ask yourself, who are you trying to save? And do they genuinely want to be saved? Or are they merely exploiting your kindness and compassion to keep you trapped in a cycle of pain that they deliberately sustain? Your effort to sync with them is not a sign of loyalty or noble love. It is self-destruction. So, don't turn yourself into a martyr, blindly offering your life to a rotting ship slowly sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Wake up and realize that this ship is not yours. You have no obligation to die alongside someone poisoning your mind, emotions, and life. You do not have to carry the weight of problems they refuse to address, nor are you the savior of someone who does not wish to be saved. Choose to walk away. Choose your well-being. Choose freedom. You deserve to live, thrive, and love without the chains of manipulation and toxicity. Stand strong and declare your freedom. Let the narcissist take responsibility for their choices, their ship, their fate. You, on the other hand, deserve to live a fulfilling life full of happiness and meaning. Do not let your compassion be exploited and turned into chains that bind you to a toxic relationship. More importantly, do not let distorted thoughts or romanticized tales cloud your judgment. Listen to your heart, but let your mind lead the way. Remember that true love never involves self-destruction for the sake of someone else. Real love brings peace, support, and encouragement to help you become the best version of yourself. Be courageous and step out of the shadow of a toxic relationship, no matter how difficult or painful that step may be. This act of leaving is a profound expression of self-love, the love you have always deserved. Believe that on the other side of freedom a new life awaits you, one where you can find joy, peace, and true happiness. This is the real meaning of loving yourself, something you have every right to do and deserve to achieve. One critical mistake you must avoid when leaving a narcissist is falling into the trap of the so-called final conversation. Never suggest or accept an invitation for a clear-the-air talk with them. It is not an opportunity to resolve misunderstandings or end things amicably as you might hope. In reality, it is a cunning tactic to pull you back into their web of manipulation. This conversation is not a space for seeking understanding or a genuine apology. On the contrary, it is a stage where the narcissist showcases their masterful manipulation skills. They will seize every opportunity to twist the narrative to their advantage, blaming you, making you feel guilty, or portraying themselves as a pitiful victim. Their ultimate goal is not to solve any issues, but to destabilize your emotions, leaving you confused and doubting your decision. They may use sweet words, cleverly fabricated stories, or even promises to change, all designed to exploit your compassion. In a moment of vulnerability, you might find yourself questioning, am I being too heartless? Am I making a mistake? And just like that, you are drawn back into the emotional web they have so meticulously woven. This is precisely what they want, not reconciliation, but control. In a healthy relationship, a calm and direct conversation to end things might be the right approach. But with a narcissist, any form of communication, be it a face-to-face meeting, text, call, or email, becomes a tool for them to continue inflicting harm. They don't care about the truth or the reasons. They only seek an opportunity to sow doubt and reopen your wound. Remember, silence is power. Close all channels of communication and deny them any opportunity to infiltrate your life again. You owe them no explanations, nor do you need to appear noble by clearing the air. What you need to do is protect yourself, your emotions, your mind, and your peace. Your decisiveness is not only the sole way to escape a toxic relationship, but also a powerful affirmation that you deserve a better life. Always remember, your silence is what a narcissist fears most, as it proves they no longer have control over you. That is the greatest victory on your journey to healing. The second mistake you might make is letting emotions guide your decisions. Compassion, beautiful memories, or faint hopes of change can easily cloud your judgment. But keep in mind, logic is your sharpest weapon. the key to severing the toxic chains they've bound you with throughout the relationship. A narcissist doesn't change, not because you haven't tried hard enough, but because their nature doesn't allow it. They thrive on control, manipulation, and exploiting your emotions. Ask yourself, how many times have you sacrificed and waited for changes that never came? Don't let fleeting memories or false promises deceive you. Look at the cold reality. They only bring harm, are indifferent to your feelings, and will never change because they don't see the need to. If you let emotions take over, you'll only push yourself into an endless cycle of pain. Emotional thinking traps you in sweet but empty promises and feigned remorse designed to pull you back under their control. It leads to hesitation, delays, and even clinging to a relationship long decayed simply because you fear the pain of separation. But remember, leaving a narcissist isn't just a simple decision, it's an act of courage and self-liberation. This is not the time to be weak or nostalgic, it's the time to be alert and strong. Put yourself first, not out of selfishness, but because you deserve to be loved and to live in a healthy, peaceful environment. Don't let anything, whether it's love once shared or guilt imposed by them, hold you back. Take a moment and ask yourself, do you want to keep living in the shadows of control or step into the light of freedom? Choose the path that brings you true peace. It requires clarity, determination, and a steady mind. Moving forward, however difficult, is an act of strength. Only by daring to walk away can you escape their grip, rebuild your life, and find the true happiness you deserve. The third thing to remember: leaving a narcissist is not a leisurely stroll. It's a challenging battle that requires careful preparation. This isn't just about ending a relationship. It's a journey to rediscover yourself, overcome the wounds, and break down the barriers the narcissist has built in your life. The third mistake you must absolutely avoid is acting without a plan. An impulsive move can result in severe consequences both emotionally and practically. Secrecy is the golden key to a successful escape. Do not disclose your plan to leave to anyone, not even those you trust most. In the narcissist's game, information is their weapon. One small slip and they will exploit it, turning the breakup into a prolonged and painful war. Quietly plan your exit, meticulously and carefully crafting every step. Treat it like a covert operation where you are the clever spy escaping enemy territory without leaving any trace. And when everything is ready, disappear to a safe place where the narcissist can never find you. If you have children or other ties with the narcissist, make proper arrangements for them before leaving. Do not let anything become a hostage in the hands of the manipulator. Remember, your safety and happiness are the top priority. Start by outlining a detailed, meticulous, and clear strategy. If you are financially dependent on them or share custody of children, your preparation needs to be even more careful. You must ensure that you are financially independent, have a safe place to live, and have the necessary legal measures in place to protect yourself and your rights. This is particularly important because narcissists often do not let you leave easily without creating difficulties or finding ways to pull you back. First, identify the support resources you can rely on. This may include family, trusted friends, or even organizations that support women and victims of psychological abuse. These people can not only help you emotionally, but also provide advice, financial assistance, or temporary shelter. If possible, consult with a lawyer to ensure you fully understand your rights, especially when it comes to shared assets or child custody. If your goal is to sever all contact, consider thoroughly erasing your traces. This may include changing your phone number, blocking them on social media, and even being cautious with people they might use to reach you. Don't forget to prepare yourself for the sophisticated tactics they may use to draw you back from playing the pitiful victim to threats or attempts to demean you. Additionally, anticipate the challenges you will face. These might include feelings of loneliness, initial financial instability, or criticism from people who don't fully understand your story. Remember that this is part of the journey, and you can overcome it if you are mentally prepared and have a solid plan. Most importantly, do not act impulsively. Acting hastily can lead to mistakes that might put you in a worse situation. Instead, patiently build each step, and, if possible, seek advice from those who have been in similar situations. Their experiences can help you avoid many traps and unnecessary mistakes. A narcissist will never easily accept your departure. They will do everything they can to pull you back, including emotional manipulation and pressure. Therefore, always stay alert, mentally prepare for their negative reactions, and hold your ground firmly. All your efforts will be in vain if you let emotions take over and fall into their trap again. Let go of the promises they made to you. One of the biggest reasons it's hard for you to forget your ex is the way the relationship ended. Unclear, incomplete, and leaving too many unanswered questions. Sometimes the breakup comes like a thunderbolt, catching you off guard and leaving you stunned without understanding what happened. Other times, it's a prolonged, smoldering end, where everything slowly crumbles, but neither of you has the courage to put an end to it. Regardless of how it ends, the shared feelings are emptiness, restlessness, and pain, a state that psychologists refer to as unfinished business. Human nature seeks wholeness and meaning in everything, especially in love. When a relationship ends without satisfactory explanation, your mind constantly rewinds old memories, searching for answers to unanswered questions. Why did it end this way? What did I do wrong? Why have those past promises now faded into nothing but memories? These questions, like relentless waves, attack your mind, dragging you deeper into pain and instability. As you try to find answers from the past, your emotions become even more chaotic. You may feel anger over the betrayal or pain because you don't understand why everything fell apart. Guilt might creep in, making you think you should have done better, loved more, or sacrificed more. In moments of weakness, you might long for them to return, hoping everything could go back to how it was, as if that could ease your wounds. But the truth is, these desires only pull you into an illusion. You're not just grieving the loss of the person, but also the idealized image you created of them. The promises they made to you of a happy future, or the trips you never took, or the cozy family life you both envisioned, are now just fragments of a shattered dream. The loss is not only about the person they were, but also about the things you believed you would build together. These promises, once a thread connecting the two of you, now bind you to the pain. You may worry that the good things you hoped for are now being given to someone else. Jealousy, doubt, and a sense of injustice creep into your thoughts, making you repeatedly question, what did I do wrong? Could things have been different? When your mind is consumed by unanswered questions, you get caught in a spiral of ruminating on the past. Sometimes you blame yourself for trusting them, for not trying harder to save the relationship. Other times you resent them for breaking their promises, for not giving you closure. Yet regardless of the emotion, these negative thoughts keep you trapped in a cycle, preventing you from moving on and finding peace. The promises they once made to you are now just memories, invisible threads tying you to your pain. But letting go does not mean forgetting everything. Letting go means accepting that those promises no longer hold value, that they belong to a past that no longer exists. Acknowledge the reality that you cannot change what has happened, and you don't need the past to define who you are or your future. As author Haruki Murakami once wrote, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional." You can choose to let go and free yourself from prolonged pain. By accepting the truth that the relationship has ended, you create the opportunity to heal and find peace within yourself. Letting go is not an act of weakness, but a demonstration of courage and self-respect. You don't let go because you've given up hope, but because you choose to move toward better things. When you begin to focus on yourself, on building a meaningful new life, you'll realize the old relationship was not a failure. It was a valuable lesson that helped you grow and understand more about yourself and what you truly need in love. Those promises, now without value, should not hold you back in the past. Let them become part of the story you've overcome, instead of a burden on your journey. You deserve to be loved and cherished by someone who truly understands and stands by you. As philosopher Rumi once said, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." When you let go of the past, the light of freedom and happiness will guide you. leading you to a future where you can love yourself and fully embrace life. And that is what you deserve. Learn to face yourself. One of the most powerful ways to avoid being pulled into the whirlpool of longing or doubting your decisions is to confront the past with honesty. Create a specific and detailed list of the pain your ex has caused you. This is not just a psychological exercise, but a tool to help you stand firm, protecting you from idealizing the past or forgetting the suffering you've endured. The writer Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote, "Do not forget that sadness passes through your life not to harm you, but to help you grow and find your true self." Facing your pain is not about reopening bitter memories, but understanding that they existed and that you were strong enough to overcome them. Begin by setting aside quiet time to sit down and be honest with yourself. Take a piece of paper or open a document on your computer and start writing down all the things that hurt you in the past relationship. Don't let those feelings remain vague in your memory, as time can blur the wounds and replace them with incomplete yet rosy memories. Write down every hurtful word, every action that made you feel unvalued, and every moment you felt lonely and abandoned. Let every feeling come through clearly, from the nights you cried alone to the times you felt like the only one trying to salvage the relationship. Don't worry about exaggerating or overthinking things. This is your space, and your emotions are completely valid. The writer Maya Angelou once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." Writing out your pain helps you gain clarity about why you chose to walk away, and it is the first step in preventing the past from continuing to control you. Once the list is complete, don't let it sit forgotten somewhere. Place it where you can see it, on your bathroom mirror, next to your computer screen, or even taped to your fridge. Each time you see the list, let it remind you why you chose to let go. These words are not just records of pain, they are symbols of your strength. Each time you feel longing or doubt your decision, read them again. Remind yourself, "I was hurt, but I was brave enough to leave. I deserve a better love, someone who values me and brings true peace." As Victor Hugo wrote, "When one door closes, another opens, but before stepping through, make sure you're no longer bound to what was left behind." Emotions are a natural part of the healing process. Don't hesitate to feel the old pain. Those emotions are not enemies, but valuable lessons that help you grow. They remind you that you've been hurt, but also that you've overcome and grown stronger from those experiences. Every time you face the list, let it be a compass reminding you, "This is why I walked away, and this is why I won't return." You don't need to erase the memories, but you can learn to see them realistically and not let them affect your present and future. The writer Paulo Coelho said, "The pain of the past is part of you, but it's not all of you. You must learn to use it as motivation, not a reason to stop." This list not only helps you remember the hurt, but also allows you to recognize your own worth. You chose to leave not because you were weak, but because you deserve a better relationship. The past pain is evidence of your inner strength, the strength to refuse what doesn't match your value. Remember, the promises your ex once made to you are now nothing more than broken dreams. Letting go is not giving up hope, it is opening the door to better things. As author Elizabeth Gilbert wrote, "You have to love yourself so much that you don't accept anything or anyone that diminishes your value." Once you have your list, take time to care for yourself. Turn the past into motivation to build a brighter future. Instead of letting the pain consume you, let it propel you to live the life you truly want. Explore hobbies, nurture healthy relationships, and seek out things that bring you joy. Step out, discover the world, and meet new people. When you start focusing on positive things, you'll realize that life has so much beauty to offer. Each day as you look at the list, remind yourself, "I've made it through. I'm moving forward." Let it serve as a reminder that you deserve sincere love and someone who values and walks alongside you in life. As Ernest Hemingway once said, True strength is not how much pain you can endure, but how you rise from your wounds. Each day you move forward is a testament to your strength, the strength to overcome the past and move toward a brighter future. Don't rush into a new relationship just to forget your ex. Ending a relationship with a narcissist isn't simply ending a romance, but a challenging process of self-recovery. Narcissists don't just cause emotional damage, they leave deep scars on your soul. The loss of trust, the destruction of self-worth, and the exhaustion of enduring painful cycles of manipulation. Entering a new relationship without healing from these wounds is like carrying old, cracked baggage into a new journey. This not only hurts you, but also risks destroying the opportunity to build a truly healthy relationship. When you part ways with a narcissist, you don't just lose a partner, but also a significant part of your self-perception. Narcissists often use manipulation tactics such as devaluation, love bombing, and discard, leaving you feeling that you're not good enough, not worthy, or incapable of happiness without them. These wounds don't simply vanish because you physically left them. They linger in your mind, influencing how you perceive yourself and future relationships. Virtual body disappearing, lowering your imposture's transgression, eludes you, and require reduced relationships. If you enter a new relationship without taking time to heal, you risk bringing unhealed wounds and defensive behaviors into it. You may feel suspicious, distrustful of your new partner, or easily triggered by actions that remind you of the narcissist. This not only puts pressure on the new relationship, but also denies you the chance to build a healthy connection. Healing is a personal journey that requires patience and courage. To truly let go of a past relationship, you need to start by learning to love and value yourself. As Louise Hay once said, "You cannot love someone else healthily until you learn to love yourself." This is especially important after being in a relationship with a narcissist, where your self-worth is often eroded. Start by tuning into your emotions. Don't try to bury the pain or rush to fill the void by seeking a new relationship. Instead, allow yourself to feel and confront the sadness, anger, or even disappointment in yourself. These emotions are not your enemies. They are the first step toward understanding what you've been through and why you feel the way you do. One of the biggest consequences of breaking up with a narcissist is the loss of self-confidence and self-worth. They often make you feel you're not good enough or unworthy of love. Before starting a new relationship, it's essential to rebuild a positive sense of self. Focus on what makes you happy and feel alive. It could be learning a new skill, engaging in creative activities, or simply spending time with family and friends who love you unconditionally. When you find joy from within, you'll stop seeking validation from others. This is a vital step toward entering a new relationship with a free and healthy mindset, no longer bound by old wounds. One of the greatest dangers of rushing into a new relationship is the risk of unconsciously recreating old patterns from your past relationship. You may choose someone who resembles the narcissist because familiar behaviors feel safe, even if they aren't healthy. Or, conversely, you might become overly cautious and misinterpret innocent actions from your new partner as manipulative. As Brené Brown said, "Boundaries are where you end and someone else begins." When you haven't fully healed, you might struggle to set healthy boundaries in a relationship. You may either allow the new person to control or invade your personal space, or you may build walls so high that the relationship cannot develop naturally. You're only truly ready for a new relationship when you no longer feel the need for someone to fill the void within you. Ask yourself, am I happy on my own? Am I at peace with what happened in the past? If the answer is yes, that may be a sign you're ready for a fresh start. Remember that a healthy relationship isn't a place to seek salvation. It's a space for two people to share, support, and grow together. When you've healed, you won't feel the need for a relationship to validate your self-worth. Instead, you'll choose it because it brings you happiness and peace. Healing isn't a process you can rush. Let time be your ally. As Haruki Murakami once said, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional." Taking the time to recover doesn't just help you avoid future mistakes, it also builds a stronger foundation for your next relationship. Use this time as an opportunity to learn about yourself, explore what you truly want in love, and recognize red flags in unhealthy relationships. When you understand yourself better, you'll be better equipped to choose the right partner to walk beside you in life. Finally, the most important thing is not to let the wounds from your old relationship become a burden on your journey. See them as valuable lessons that helped you grow. Each time you recall the pain, remind yourself that you've overcome it and emerged stronger from the experience. As Rumi wrote, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." The wounds from your relationship with a narcissist are not something to hide or be ashamed of. They are opportunities to discover your inner strength and become the best version of yourself. When you decide to leave a narcissist, it's not just about ending a toxic relationship. It's a declaration of your self-worth and your right to freedom. Narcissists thrive on manipulation, control, and the validation they extract from you. By resolutely walking away, you shatter their illusion of power, forcing them to confront the emptiness within themselves, whether or not they choose to admit it. The journey of leaving a narcissist is not always easy. You may face their anger, manipulative tactics to lure you back, or covert actions aimed at undermining your resolve. But remember, these reactions are not evidence that you're wrong. They are merely signs that they cannot accept losing control. Leaving a narcissist is fundamentally about choosing yourself, choosing peace, growth, and a future that you deserve. It is an act of courage, opening the door for you to reclaim your dignity and autonomy. As you move forward, the chaos they left behind will gradually fade, making room for clarity, confidence, and your inner strength. Keep in mind, the greatest victory doesn't lie in revenge or proving them wrong. It lies in living a better, stronger life without them. Deciding to leave isn't just about breaking free from their grip. It's the first step on a journey of rebirth and redefining your own life. Leaving a narcissist isn't just about walking away from them. It's stepping into a new life where you are free to love and value yourself as you truly deserve.